Hi, I'm Gravity,
I'm Renee.
and we are really excited about our new resource, Teacher's Toolkit for Independent Reading, that's available for pre-order now and will be out in just a few short months. And we wanted to share a little bit of our purpose and our why behind we created this. So Renee, tell me a little bit about some of the reasons why we think this is going to be so helpful for teachers.
Many. I think one of the reasons why we've been thinking about and really excited about this is we have personally experienced and have witnessed in many classrooms of how powerful and productive and effective that personalized instruction can be, that one-on-one, those conversations side by side with readers and one reader, two reader, small group work. And so we know how really important it is for teachers to be able to have the time and space, both literally in their classroom, but also the mind space to be able to differentiate and personalize instruction for students. Really meet them where they are and so come alongside of them and support them where they are.
And I think pretty much every teacher I've ever met wants, actually not pretty much, every teacher I've ever met wants their students to be independent readers.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
We've written several books on the topic, we present a lot about it. And one of the things that I was noticing was that when I would sit next to a student and I didn't have anything in my hand, it was always like stilted, and it felt like at the end of the conference, like, did that even have an impact? And sometimes they would be really long, sometimes they'd be really short. It just didn't feel as satisfying or clear when I would just approach a student with nothing in my hands.
Which makes me think about the tools that we kind of have been creating all along our whole entire career.
Yeah.
Even when we first met, we would talk about our classroom stories and talk about different things we tried, and then together thinking about really just experimenting and giving ourselves permission to try things out. And of late, teachers like yourselves have been saying, hey, what is that? Tell us a little bit more of that. And so we realized that having tools in our hand really helps us feel prepared and really kind of clears our mind space to be present with students so that we can offer them coaching or offer them modeling that they need to be productive in their reading.
So I guess what we're saying is like one of the big reasons behind the toolkit is that we can't actually plan for what's going to happen in a conference, right? Because we're going to sit next to a student reader, and as a human, they are unpredictable. And sometimes they say things we expect to hear, but not always. And often like those surprising moments are the teachable moments. And so we realize, like, if you spend too much time planning for a conference, it doesn't match the student in front of you. But if you show up not feeling prepared at all, then often we don't even know what to teach. And that's one of the questions we often get, right? Is like, how do I know what to teach, especially when I don't know the book really well that the student is reading? So these tools really help us feel prepared because we have an idea where we might go in the conference, but we're still open to the possibility of what's going to come up in these moments with students. So should we tell them a little bit like what the tools are?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so some of the tools we have a professional book that's organized around 25 key questions that are the most common questions that teachers ask us. And the book is not long in narrative. Instead, the book is organized with a 2-page narrative spread and then tools that can be used right away, right? And some of those questions are things like,
How do I start a conference?
how do I end a conference? How do I give feedback in a conference?
How do I take notes?
How do I organize and use those notes, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And so that's one of our tools. Another is we have grade level specific guides that are called your everyday guide to conferring with 3rd graders, 4th graders, or 5th graders. And what's really exciting about that is we really looked at almost like a curriculum of conferring in independent reading, and we broke down what you might be teaching across the year with some assessments to look and listen for and some teaching ideas. And I like the fact that we can really tailor it to the specific grade level.
I really appreciate, or I've been using, even today I use the questions to start conferences in terms of that, like the different areas of teaching focus.
Yep.
It's really helpful to have a starting place.
Yeah, so for each of those instructional focuses in the grade level, there are those research questions of what you might ask students, which is super helpful for not just staring at them or asking them to retell their book and getting stuck and just listening to random retell by students. There's also teaching texts, which are there to read aloud to students and then refer back to when we are modeling strategies in a small group lesson or in conferences. And so there are 10 texts at every grade
Every
level
grade
that are
level.
specific to the grade level, both nonfiction and fiction, with ideas for what you might model in those texts.
That reminds me of sticky notes. We also have some
Oh,
sticky
yes.
notes.
So there's sticky notes that are designed for think alouds for teacher planning, with some ideas for what those prompts might be. And then I also love, we have reminder sticky notes that we can give to students at the end of a conference, so that they have a concrete reminder of what we taught them that they can continue to do. And we also have a teacher's reading notebook, so that you can live through the experience of having a notebook just like your students will be, and you can use it to model strategies. And we gave lots of ideas for some of the entries that you might create, so that if you're like, I'm not really even sure how to keep a notebook, we gave you throughout the year grade level specific ideas for what those might be.
And an organizer.
Oh yeah, the organizer. I only have it in purple, but yours is gonna come in black, but there's a beautiful organizer. Oh yeah, in the organizer, there are pockets to put all of these tools we've talked about, and then there's also a tabbed off section where you can keep notes for students, so that we give you note-taking forms, several versions that you can choose for whatever instructional focus you want to work on, and you can tab it off, write your student's name, and it's all in one sleek, beautiful, easy to use organizer. And videos.
Oh my goodness. We have so many videos. You can bring us along with you.
Yeah. So we have sort of 3 different styles of videos. So we have conferences and small group lessons where you can actually step into a classroom and see what we're talking about in action, specific to your grade level. We also have conversations where you and I are talking and answering some of the questions from the professional book. And then we also have videos that are sort of giving some advice that have some of our tips and classroom footage to go along with that. So the whole idea is it's sort of like if we could be in your classrooms with you, coaching and offering professional development in video format, so you can go at the pace and in the order that works for you. You can tell we've been pretty busy. You will find more videos of us going in a little bit more depth into each of the tools in the toolkit. But we hope you're as excited as we are. We made this just for you because we really want to help teachers feel confident and prepared to meet the needs of the students in your classroom, and to make independent reading your favorite part of the day, because it's ours.
Happy conferring.
I'm just sitting here, I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful.